All right. Well, here we are with Morgan.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's actually family, but we normally call her Mo. So, yeah. Tell me about yourself, about your role as a teacher.
So I'm a teacher at Meriden State College on the Sunshine Coast. I teach senior biology and junior science, and I've been doing this for about 6 years now.
So I currently teach EALD in a independent school in Brisbane, and my role means I'm teaching from prep to grade 6.
Tell us a little bit about your experience with different cultures and languages and all of that, personally.
So personally, I've only worked at this school, and from my experience, I feel like it's a school with lots of diversity. There's certainly a lot of students coming from Europe, Asia, Africa, India, everywhere. Lots of different ethnicities and religions. And not that it's something seen. It's there without, we don't really acknowledge it in a way. Like all the kids are there and they're who they are.
So currently we have about 1 in 5 students in the junior school who come from a language background other than English. Amazing students from many varied hands. Some have started they haven't started learning English until they reach like pre-prep, like pre-kindy. So maybe the first 4 or 5 years they've actually had no English, even if they're born in Australia.
We do offer a international program for year 10, 11 and 12 students from overseas who wish to finish their high school at Meriden in hope to obtain a QC and maybe go to university here in Australia. And in terms of perhaps the Indigenous community at our school, roughly 4% perhaps will be Indigenous. We promote a lot of that throughout the year, whether it's NAIDOC or Reconciliation Week. We do big assemblies. Our school leaders from prep to 12, there's about maybe 20 leaders who are Indigenous.
Oh, wow.
And they really promote activities around the school, paintings.
I guess in terms of First Nations, being respectful and honouring those that have come before, they're now doing acknowledgement of country at every school official event, which is amazing, and the students have really pushed for that. Certainly the school leadership is taking that on board in a more consistent way. And I know, for example, my daughter in grade 10, when they organised a cultural day, she got one of her peers who is actually a First Nations student he got permission from the local elders to do Welcome to Country. So that was a huge thing, and all the grade 10s were so excited about that because that's the first time that we know of that it's happened. But at a curriculum level, certainly First Nations history from their perspective is coming through more clearly, I feel like, in the primary school curriculum. My concern is that it's not just taught in a tokenistic way, that it's actually taught in a way that celebrates our context and is done in a way that respects our local history. But I feel that that's something that still needs to be developed, building those relationships with who are our local elders. And
there is such a small window to fit everything in that the curriculum wants us to cover. And I am ashamed to say that there's not enough time to dig into those aspects of science that could be relating to the Indigenous community.
It's a really big ask. With everything.
And there's also, I feel like, a lack of training and understanding. And support for teachers to know how to do it.
It really comes back to what's their story, and then being sensitive to and understanding. And for me, it's constantly learning about what's important to them. Some families are very much like, when you walk in the school gates, you only speak English, you are to think English. And so the students feel like they can't or they shouldn't be anything but English. I have to respect that every family has their way of doing things, no matter where they're from, whether they're Australian, born here, or from overseas or whatever. So I think ultimately that's their choice and decision, and all we can say is we value and celebrate all our cultures and our languages in our school, and it's something to be celebrated and valued, and it's a huge asset. You know, I often tell my students, you have a superpower.
So here, if you had one piece of advice for teaching and supporting students of diverse cultural backgrounds, what would it be?
I think be curious of your students' background, and I feel like we don't give them enough opportunity to share their background. If they want to. Having that one-on-one chat every day, having that little story and asking them if they're willing to share could be quite powerful to expose other students to that diversity.
I think, as I said earlier, know this story and learn from your students, because they have so much to teach us. And I think by listening and understanding who they are and their families, building that strong positive relationship can go a long way, and that they should value and celebrate their heritage and their culture, again being sensitive to what their family wants, and just showing how proud you are of them. And look, they're amazing. I find all my ELD students are just incredible students who are just, as you said earlier, they're just thinking so hard all day. They're just amazing, and I feel very privileged to be supporting them.
Wow. Thank you. Thanks so much.